drive a long day, didn't finish until late as well after the sessions at the school. And today's been a bit tricky to get traction on for one reason or another, and I think that's partly to do with me, but other small elements as well, but majority to do with me. And so I was thinking when I was just putting the blog together, what kind of value is there for you in this? And I think there's the best way I can help you with something is to notice that sometimes days don't work out as we want to, as we planned, as we hoped. So kind of matter of our goals and objectives, if they're small or large, if some days it doesn't gel, or it's a few days that don't gel. What I tend to do is to accept them. Acknowledge it first, acknowledge that this is not the way the day is planned out as I want it to be, but to acknowledge that's the case and then accept that I am where I am. Yes, the target for the week or the goals haven't been achieved as yet. There's time rest for the week to try and make them happen. Now, it's not that I don't feel a pinch of frustration, because I do, but I'm not going to dwell on that. I'm not going to ponder that or focus on it too much. I accept it, I acknowledge it, and then I start putting in plans to get the best out of the week, trying to kind of drain it like a sponge, really. So, okay, right, this is my week now looks like, so I'll try and get out of it. I look to accept, acknowledge, and then do something about it, and then move forward and try to get some work done, work through on the task. And I mention it just because it's the case so often we can simply dwell and ponder on the fact we're not doing what we would want to be doing, or that the previous days haven't worked out, or the week hasn't worked out, or we failed in some form. And for me, it's just not a useful state to feel that negative about it. It's about accepting where we are, moving forward and saying, okay, it's not been great, but look at the bigger picture, aiming forward to whatever tasks or goals or outcomes you're after, and have faith in that's what you're going to achieve. And the other thing that comes to mind, I think that actually is quite useful. If you started in a course of change, of habits or a task or objective, and you've gone from zero to starting it, and you've had a bad week, bad few days, and it's kind of pivoted a little bit from that task and from that goal, and you're feeling a bit frustrated, shall we say. I want you to consider, or bear in mind at least, that you are already achieving more than you set out to achieve by simply kind of focusing on this happening and making it happen. You can look back and say, well, you were at zero before. You were at zero, and now you set up some things in place, some starting points which take you up to 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever it may be, but you're not at zero. You've got the experience. All you need to do is go back and retrace those steps, pick up the pieces, and then learn it. Sometimes it can be the learning that you have to take 2 steps back for 1 step forward. That could be the case. Now I relate this to when I was first training for running or doing any kind of running. I think it was my first ever kind of run. I don't know, about 3K, so it wasn't much, but I did it once and I was very happy with myself. And then the second time I did it, I think it was the next day or the day after, I was like, is it going to be tougher now, or I'm flying tired? And all I said to myself was, well, you've already done this once. You just got to retrace the steps. So you're not breaking any new ground. You're not doing anything revolutionary. You simply run the same way you did a couple of days ago. You've already achieved it once. All you need to do is achieve it again. Achieving it once and then achieving it again is a lot easier than trying to kind of get things in place for that kind of zero start. So take that on board. Think of the idea that you're not starting from zero. You're starting from experience. You know where you need to improve. You know what you need to be doing. Go back to those points you're retracing those steps and repeat what you've been doing. And that's what I do. That's what I'm looking to do with my work. It's okay, I am where I am, acknowledging it, and say, well, I'm not at zero. Maybe I'm only at 0.5, but it's not zero. And take that and draw the energy from that, and then plan out how the rest of the days or weeks that whenever you watch this can begin to achieve what you want. Take that bit of positivity and use it and let it grow, and let it become something larger so that you feel you can get to where you want to be. It's where we stay in the negative, as I often mention, that we need to be mindful of and keep some distance from. As I always say, we acknowledge it, we accept that it's there, we're not trying to ignore that we haven't achieved things. It's about accepting that But then we're not dwelling, we're not pondering. We're saying, right, how do I recalibrate? How do I course correct and get me in my direction? And the final point towards this actually is quite useful, something I use when doing talks. This is about how we deal with adversity, how we become resilient and become kind of stronger, or having, yes, our confidence boosted. Is how we deal with challenges. Challenges happen all the time. Obstacles are in our way. But it's how we deal with them that makes the difference. If whatever venture you're putting yourself into, you're going to find challenges. In fact, as I was mentioning yesterday, there are going to be more failures than successes. But what if failure was the entry to success, the entry level to success? So you need to notice that and accept that maybe this is how it's going to be for a while. But the success, the goals you're after, are waiting for you as you persevere, recalibrate, course correct, and get yourself back on track. So I kind of hope that's been something useful. Give me something about my day, my focus, how I get myself out of these situations I'm feeling frustrated, and then get back onto what I want to achieve. Doesn't have to be the same thing as you're after, but take from that the formula, if you like, of how you can change the mindset, improve it, so you can just get enough of a lip to get yourself out of that hole. That's how you're feeling. And you start pulling on that and you start kind of getting yourself out. And the more you do of that, the better you'll become at it as well. Remember, this is a habit we're practicing to get better at. So the more we can get ourselves out of this frustration, the sooner we'll do it faster, and the sooner we'll be able to kind of do it without even thinking about it. So, I leave that with you today, and I hope you're doing super well wherever you are.